Hello, readers. Welcome to a brand new podcast. It's Betty and Bonny, the shit-talking bookslayers.
There it is.
Yes!
Yay.
Yay! This is my cousin Jackie. She's in the UK. I'm in Canada. So this is a transatlantic video. This is going to be so much fun. Now, me and my cousin, we once upon a time were in the Museum of Moving Images, and we were in a section where they were doing all this like glamorous movie stuff for old time movie stars. And this lady came up and she gave us our names. So she called me Bonny and she called Jackie Betty. So we're going to call ourselves that and we're going to have a lot of fun today. So, Jack, how's your day been?
Really good. I've had a super chill day. Got up a bit early, went and did shopping, all the boring shit you have to do as an adult. Had a chilled afternoon. That's it. And just been getting ready to do this. I've been so excited for our first one. We were supposed to do this about a month ago.
Yeah.
Got a bit waylaid with some personal shit, but we are here and we are ready to go.
This is going to be so much fun. You're literally going to be getting me and my cousin just catching up and reading books together. This is going to be so much fun. So much fun.
As well, it's like where it's obviously Stacey moved to Canada like many years ago. We also wanted to do this because it's just a great way for us to catch up, and we thought we'd share that with everybody.
Yeah. Like our family's pretty big on reading. My mum is a big reader. I'm a big reader. Your mum's a big reader too, right?
My mum does read a lot. I've just got her on my Kindle app, and she every few days or so she's retired, so she texts me. She's like, "What do I read next?" And I'm like, it's so nice to recommend her books because at one point your mum gave her a Kindle, so she was reading the books that your mum recommended. Now she's getting my recommendations, and I have just recommended her The Housemaid. She's read that. She loved it.
Has she read the next installment yet, or is she?
She's definitely read the second one. I think she's actually read all three because I've moved on to other books. Yeah, I think she's done all three pretty quickly.
Yeah. What did she think of it? What did she think of The Housemaid? Because that's actually the book we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, she really enjoyed it. We didn't have like a deep discussion because, like I say, she texts me. But yeah, she really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's funny because Freida Mcfadden, before she blew up, she was using booktok as her marketing company because she was an indie publisher. And I was looking at her Instagram page the other day because I was like, we're doing this, right? She has so many followers and she only follows like 1,000 people and she still follows me from back when I used to do all her marketing.
She was in one of her original like chat groups.
Yeah.
So she still follows that when I found out. I was so like mind blown.
Yeah, she literally follows like virtually nobody and she's got so many followers, but she still follows my account because I used to do all her book touring. So I was blown away actually. I was like, yeah.
So privileged. She is great. I have read quite a few of her books. Can definitely do some recs on other ones, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's a goodie.
Well, she's one of those authors where you either love her or you hate her. And I kind of think of her books as kind of like crack. You get like, you know what you're getting from it, right? You get high off it. It's like a sugar high because she follows this formula where you either love or hate the characters. And she always has the big twists and you either love her or you hate her. And I am definitely in the camp of loving her books. Like she really blew up after The Housemaid.
Yeah, that must have been quite a shock for her because she'd been doing it for so many years, hadn't she? And didn't she like self-publish and stuff before? And then all of a sudden, a lot of her books blew up.
Yeah, so she got picked up by a publisher because she self-published all the time. And one of the things that she was very adamant about is that when she became published with a publishing house was that she wanted to keep her books affordable, which is why she kept them on Kindle Unlimited, which is why she publishes like her paperbacks are actually very well priced. They're really well priced because she wanted to make it affordable for every reader. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about her. I absolutely love that about her.
Yeah, that is great. I did stumble on hers on Kindle Unlimited, but actually when I read The Housemaid, the first time I read it, I've obviously reread it so that we can go through it today on the pod, but I first read her, I think it was February last year, and I just joined a book club at work, and that was our first one. So we started on a high. Everyone was loving that book. It was a great day when we all got together and chatted about it, and I've reread it. I've literally just finished it this morning. And there was bits that I kind of forgot. No, but I wanted it like fresh in my mind. But there was bits I kind of forgot that had happened and was like, oh my God, I really forgot about that detail. But
Yeah.
it's like the little details that kind of made it, I think, yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciated the way she wrote it. Now, I finished it back when we were gonna record, and then
Mhm.
to kind of give me a refresher, because I had a bunch of notes written down, but I literally listened to the audiobook yesterday. Like, so I had the
Oh,
audiobook on, and
you're super
you know what's really funny? The person who does the narration, I kind of liked Millie. When I was listening to the audiobook, I'm like, she's such a see you next Tuesday. Like, I'm not
Really? What,
no,
from the
I'm
beginning?
not like, you listen to the way she's talking, and she's basically shit talking Nina right from the get-go. Like, "Oh, you're so spoiled. Look at you living in your big house. You just be ordinary." I'm like, "Wow, she's a real asshole. This woman is literally getting you out your fucking car, and you're already being a bitch." And no, I'm like, because I was like, I really like Nina. I didn't much care for, and I'm like, you know what? I really didn't like Millie. Like, listening to the audiobook, I'm like, I fucking hate you. I wouldn't piss on you if you're on fire.
And that's weird because I think when you read the book, and obviously we know why Nina acts the way she does once we get past a certain point, but like the part one of the book is Nina being an absolute fucking crazy bitch. Like smashing up the kitchen,
Yeah,
throwing shit everywhere.
yeah.
Where's my notes for my PTA shit? And you're like, dude, that's not even true. And you're
I know.
reading it going, the fuck? So that's really surprising that the audiobook's so different.
Well, I think it's because the tone. Because when I'm reading it in my head, I'm like, "Okay, like, things are," but when I was listening to her, she was like, "Man, look at you." Like, the audio narrator is like, I'm like, I think that's the exact tone it was supposed to be, and I'm like, "Wow, Millie just starts out being a real asshole too." Like, I know Nina doesn't know that because Nina's not in her head, but I'm like, "Oh my god," she's like, "This chick literally offers you a job with really good salary, and here you are going, 'Oh, Nina would just be, like, plain without all the fancy clothes.'" You know what I mean? I'm like, "Why are you thinking like that about your boss?"
Yeah. Yeah, that is super weird.
Like, I'm
But,
like,
like, especially, like, from her start, it's like she's just come out of prison, obviously got basically sacked from the first job and is living in her car and is
"Yeah,
like, "Need a job," and she gets offered this, like, really high paid job, live in, she doesn't got to sleep in the car. So it's, like, all kind of good for her at that point.
yeah." So you'd think she'd be singing her praises and saying, "Oh, this wonderful angel come and rescued me from," but she even starts off and she's just, "No." And I guess that when I read it, I kind of missed that. But the audiobook was like, because I was like, "Ah!" I'm like, "Millie is a bitch. She's a
Nina is
heinous little bitch."
yeah, but touche. Nina is a bitch. Come on.
Yeah. Yes, but this was before even Nina starts acting nutty. Like, she's like,
Huh?
yeah, this was before Nina starts even acting like a little crazed lunatic.
I
Like,
wonder
she's
how
like,
they play this in the film then. Because
I
obviously the
don't
film's out
know.
soon, which is why we've picked to do The Housemaid. We thought it'd be a great talking point for people to listen to. Hopefully you've already read it because there may be some spoilers,
Yeah,
but it was a great one to talk about before the film comes out in December.
yeah,
So I just
I-
wonder if they're going to play that, which, like, how if it's going to come across more like how you saw it.
yeah. I don't know. That's really interesting because I
Yeah.
don't like the casting for the movie. I had a look at the trailer and I'm like,
Mm.
that is not who I saw for Andrew at all. Like, that guy is just, no, no, not for me.
I don't know. I don't think when I read books, it's a bit weird. Like, obviously, I get a bit of a description, but then they're kind of in my head, kind of very loosely around that
Yeah,
character. But I just think Andrew was supposed to be hot.
yeah.
Maybe
That guy's
darker
not hot.
hair. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what I saw. But I would say, like, the description of the girls in the book was bobs. And obviously, in the film, they're both very long hair,
yeah.
very beautiful, maybe a bit more up to date. I don't know. But yeah.
It's just Andrew just does not fit it for me. And he was in one of other Colleen Hoover's, like, movies. Like, he did, It Ends With Us, and I didn't like him in that either. I don't know why they picked this dude. I was expecting, like, someone suave and sexy, and I watched him, and I'm like, "Ugh."
Oh,
I'm like, "This
I
is
actually
creep,
still have
bro."
not watched that movie.
You haven't watched the trailer?
Don't even no, well, It Ends With Us, is that not the one with Blake Lively?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen that? It's not worth the watch.
I just think all the drama after it was more funny than actually, like, about the film.
It was. You know what? I followed along with that for ages. I was, like, obsessed with that. My FYP on TikTok was literally just it was all it was. And my husband Mike was driving me like to take Thomas to school, our son, and I was like, I'm watching them, and he's like, "What's the update on Justin Baldoni?" I'm like, "You even know his name?" I watch this so frequently. He's like, "I don't want to know this stuff, but now I'm kind of interested." Yeah, so
Once
I'm
you're
not.
slightly invested, yeah.
Yeah, he was invested. I was invested, but you're right. I was more intrigued by that. I know that really tanked Colleen Hoover for a while because she's a liar. Do you read her books? Are you a Colleen Hoover fan?
I have not read any Colleen Hoover, so I will just preface this with obviously, like, we used to read a lot as kids.
Yeah.
Like, in the holidays, your mum would take us to the library and we'd get our books and we would read. I
Mhm.
think as I sort of, got through, like, older teens, I didn't really read unless I was on holiday with a book, and that would generally be something that your mum had given me or something
Yeah.
like that. Not probably sort of up-to-date thrillers, sort of books that we should think your mum's a bit more like crime. They can be
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
violent
She
books.
likes Martina Cole a lot. Like she's that kind of reader.
Yeah. But then last year when book club started is when I started racking up and got a lot into reading. So yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't actually got round to any Colleen Hoover
So you
yet.
haven't read Verity then?
No, have not read Verity. This is the thing. You know what I used to see about people who read books and they're like, I've got all these many books, and in my head I was like, just pick one and fucking read that one. I
Yeah.
understand now what the problem is because I have Kindle Unlimited, I've constantly got 20 books out. I've then obviously with book club, sometimes they're not on unlimited, so then I
Yeah.
buy them. A guy come into work the other day, I will shout out this guy, Scotty Mills, he's like a motivational speaker now, so he come and
Oh.
did like a talk at work, but he used to be in the Marines. He got very
Ooh.
high up in the Marines. This was the guy that took the England football team and the women's football team, and they put them through like the kind of paces of the military and did like proper training to get like teamwork in them. I've actually got his book
Ooh.
sat here. I haven't read it yet, but he was a great speaker. So
And
that
he
is a good
came to your
shout.
work?
He came to our work, yeah, and did like a talk. He was really good, really funny, really amazing, had some good stories. So I'm really excited to read that just to see what
Nice.
else he had to say. But yeah, once he trained England, the football team, the next year they won the Euros. I think it was the Euros. And then he done the women's football team. The next year and not the next time the Euros was on, they won it twice in a row. And
Jesus,
they
that's
all
awesome.
been to this guy and obviously his team. So yeah, shout out to him. That digressed a little bit. I
That's
just
all
had to
right.
put that in there.
That's what we're doing
Very
with
excited.
shit talking. Except that wasn't so shit talking, that was a big up.
Yeah, he
I
was
didn't know
really
you
good.
read non-fiction books.
I don't generally, but I have read a couple of what's the guy called? It's Marcus something, and he's like a spy. So I've read a couple of his books. It normally comes off of someone's coming to work. So I think where I got that from was we had another speaker at work, and it was the guy that did Hunted. I can't remember his name, but
Yeah.
he also his background was like basically being a spy. So then I was
Oh,
like, I need to read spy books. So yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
that's
But
so
yeah, we
cool.
get some great speakers.
Oh, that's I'm really jealous. You know what? We actually have we had I can't remember what it was called now. They had a bunch of authors come to Calgary and I was like, I should get tickets, but the tickets sold out like almost right away. They had
Oh,
Harlan Coben come here. Like he was here talking about, yeah.
I've obviously watched TV series again, yet to read Harlan Coben. But I have seen the new one with Reese Witherspoon and I'm dying to read it. I'm just
You know
gonna
what?
hang it out a bit.
We should maybe do that one as well then because I am very intrigued to read that one. Very
Oh, if
intrigued.
we're gonna do it for the pod, then I'll buy it.
Okay.
But
Because I love his books. I breed normally for him on NetGalley. I did his last 3 books, but for some reason I did not sign up for that one. And I think it was because I had too much going on. You should see how bad it is. The amount of books I get come in, I don't have time for them all, but I don't want to say no. Like I can't
how
say
do you say
no.
no to Harlan Coben?
I think it's because I had like, fuck, who did I have? Like I had Nicholas Sparks. I had his new one, Remain. And then I had Berkeley Books. They are like the hardest people to get books from. If the amount of people that request their books that get turned down, they ask me to blog tour for them all the time. And I can't say
Oh,
no in
cool.
case they don't invite me back again. So I always say yes. And they did 3. Like they sent me 3 books that all had to be read in a span of 2 weeks. And I'm like, I couldn't do it. There was no room. And then I'm doing author interviews. So I'm reading their books. I just got like 2 books yesterday. It's fucking mental. Being a book influencer is fucking mental.
How the fuck do you read so many books? Like, how many do you know how many you've read this year so far?
Uh, I know I have reviewed almost 500 books on Goodreads this year. Reviewed. Yeah.
So not so you've read them and reviewed them, or they might have been like the end of last year, but reviewed
No,
this
no,
year?
no,
Oh, you've
that's
read and reviewed
January.
500 books.
Yeah, I've read and reviewed almost 500 on Goodreads. I've still got probably about 26 reviews I have to write. And then that doesn't include some of the library books that I got because I don't tend to write reviews for those. I just give them star ratings. So I've probably read about 550 at this point. But I do utilize audiobooks. Like that's something I do.
And
So I
you can do it, like, super fast on an audiobook, can't you?
Yeah. Well, the Libby app and NetGalley app both do it at 3 times the speed, and I finally managed to get it to the point where if I'm wearing headphones, it's perfect. And yesterday, Amazon was like, "Here, you can have Amazon Music for 90 days for free," and I can get Audible books, and they go up to 3.5 times the speed. And I was listening to Project Hail Mary. I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Oh
Oh my god,
yeah."
that is another book that I need to read. My friend Tom read it, I can't remember, a few months ago, and I keep saying, "I need to do this book," and I was gonna audiobook it, and then I forgot. But
Well,
yes, that is another one.
if you look and if you can get an Amazon Music, like their free trial, it's 90 days. They literally have Audible and you can listen to anything for free. So I am going to whiz through everything that my library doesn't have because the Libby app is great, but they have no Andy Weir books on audio at all. And I have requested them so many times, like, hey, add, and it hasn't happened.
I will say though, with the Audible speed, I think I'm comfortable at like a 1.4, and I think most people would be around that, either just under, just over.
Yeah.
I was listening to a book, I think it was an AR Tory, however you say that person's
Yep.
name,
I know who you're talking
and
about.
I
Yeah.
did manage to get up to 2, but I had to let it go for a little while and then very slowly move it up. So I think it is possible to get it up, but I also still wanna feel like I'm enjoying the whole experience. I don't wanna feel
Yeah.
like I've, like, rushed the book or just got through it and then, like, "What the hell?" Like, if your mind distracts for a second at that speed, you've lost it, haven't you?
Yeah, but for me, if I don't have it fast, then other things can take my attention. Whereas when I'm listening to that speed, I'm zoned. Because when I first moved to Canada, people talk really slow. And I'm like, fuck, just spit it out
Remember you
already.
saying this.
They're like, oh yeah, right on, dude. And it sounded so slow. And I'm like, I just wanted to slap people for the longest time. And then
I
I
remember
had
speaking to you and you being like, "Do you?" I won't do an impression because I won't do it justice, but I was like, "Why are you talking like that?" Obviously, you was picking up the accent quite quickly, I noticed, but you was also talking really slow, and I was like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?"
because people will go, what? What did you say? What?
That's so
Like,
funny
they
though.
would literally look at me like this because they couldn't.
I
I
feel
was
like that's what
talking
people
too
think of
fast.
me sometimes. I could probably talk a bit fast, but I think that's England though. I think we all do
Yeah.
talk fast. I think
Matthew
that's
talks
normal,
really fast. My oldest son, talks really fast.
and people okay understanding him then?
No, he had to slow down. He
Oh.
only talks
Oh, you
fast at
mean when
home
he
now.
first got there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, now. I was like, he's, like, 20 odd now.
No, he's like, he would go, and people would be like, you see them, like, glitching. Yeah, but Caitlin was 1 when we moved here, so she always
Was it
has had a
affected?
yeah. She's always had a more gentle pace with her talking, so I think that that's one of the reasons why my audio speed is easier for me because I talk fast, I read fast, I need it fast. Because when I first
Yeah.
started audiobooks, I accidentally requested one from NetGalley, and I thought it was a regular book, and it was an audiobook, and I'm like, "Fuck." So I had to try, and it was horrible. Like, it was like, "And there she is, digging the dirt, plot," and I'm like, and then it was Thomas grabbed my phone, and he knocked the speed up, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's better. Ooh." I was like,
My child.
It was so much better, but it took me a while to get from, like, 1.6, that's where I started, 1.6 to get
Mm.
faster, like, I had to build up to that, and I actually just started something called immersion reading. I don't know if you've ever tried it, where you listen to the audiobook and read it at the same time?
Oh, I've actually done a little bit of that with that A.R. Tory book. I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
But yeah, carry on.
So me and Hannah on the Toppling TBR, we are going to be doing Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I know you don't read fantasy, so this is not your kind of thing. But I
No.
had the book, and I had the audio book. Like, it was just about to go back to the library, so I was like, I'm just going to try it out, and it was actually not that bad. Like, I felt like I was getting a more rounded experience hearing it and reading it at the same time. I feel like it kind of stuck more. So it's like, oh, I
Interesting.
like
Yeah,
it.
so I was listening to It's a Happy Marriage, A.R. Torrey. I've done 2 of their books. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's male or female.
I think it's a woman.
Is it a woman?
I
The
think
first
so.
one was really good. It was like, oh, it's the last party, so it's like from a woman's perspective, and I don't want to give too many spoilers, and I'm sorry if this does spoil it for anyone, but she's obsessed with this guy that's in jail, and she's
Yeah.
obsessed with the crime that he committed, which was killing some kids at a sleepover at his house. Obviously, like, his daughter was there.
I
Have you read this?
read this
But
one.
it's
Yes.
from her point of view, and she's so obsessed with him. She's like, "I'm gonna do the same thing. My daughter is coming up to her 12th birthday too. I'm gonna kill her." And it's like, what the fuck? Where
Yes,
did
I
that
have
come
read that
from?
one. I did the audiobook for that one, actually.
I only 3-starred it, and then my friend read it, and I was like, I don't know why I only 3-starred it. So I feel like there was something at the end that I wasn't quite happy with, because it should have been a 4-star, really. But it
Yeah.
was a really good read anyway. I would totally recommend it. It
Yeah.
was a goodie.
No, I really I think you know what? I think I only gave it 3.5 stars, and I think it's because it was paced really slow, and I like my thrillers faster. Like, I need more,
Mhm.
more, 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 and I'm pretty sure that she writes, like she does what I call slow burn. So she kind of builds you up really slow. She, like, and then it's like boom at the end. Whereas I need
Yeah.
it to go like dun 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 dun, and then like I need the ups and downs for my thrillers.
I don't know, because like, the first chapter, wasn't it, she's, like, in a restaurant, and they're like, "Is there a doctor in the house?" And she's like, "Yeah, me." And afterwards, her husband's like, "Why have you just lied? You're not a doctor." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I saved him, so it's
We'll touch
fine."
on
It's
that.
like, what the fuck?
Do you know people
I
can
wouldn't
sue in
read
the
it.
States for that? If you give somebody say, let's say they're having a heart attack and you give them chest compressions and you crack their ribs, they can sue you. Even though you saved their
Even if
fucking
they
life,
say
you have the right to sue. I
the
couldn't
law
believe
has gone too far in so many ways, and we're not gonna fall down this rabbit hole on this
No,
podcast.
no, let's not do that because when I
Let's
read
not,
that,
but
I
that
was
is
like,
insane.
because you're right, because when I read that part in that book, I'm like, if she remotely hurt him in any way, he could sue her, doctor or not. He could
Yeah.
sue her for like harm, bodily harm. I'm like, fucking, I wouldn't touch nobody. I'd be like, sorry, good luck.
I would think I would be like the worst person in a crisis situation. I would fucking panic. I would just be looking at whoever's around me being like, "Are you going to do something?
Yeah.
Because this ain't gonna do anything. This is gonna fucking go, ah!" Like,
Yeah,
no.
I'm the opposite. I actually am really good during the crisis. Like, but it's the afterwards I cry and start to shake.
If it was a medical crisis, if it was like a crisis at work, yeah,
Yeah.
fine. I can do the pressure, but it's like anything medical.
Oh,
I'm
no,
like,
I mean
I'm
medical.
worst case scenario
Oh,
every time.
no, I mean medical, and I don't know if it's because I was an air cadet, because there was once I don't know if you remember when I was, like, 16, I was dating this boy called Craig, and he lived, like, in Kent, but I had to take the train up to see him. Well,
Okay.
I went to stay with him and his parents for a weekend, and they were driving us to go bowling, and we watched a cyclist get knocked off his bike. And me and Craig got out of the car because we had first aid training, right? We were first responders on the scene. And we
Bless
helped the
you.
guy out, yeah. We got him off the road safely until the ambulance came. Then we gave our statements. And then afterwards I was like shaking and I was gonna puke. But
It's
during
like
it, I was like,
adrenaline though, is adrenaline, isn't it?
yeah.
It's
I was
that
like,
gets going afterwards, it makes you feel sick.
and Craig was like, wow, you really took charge. And I'm like, I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna vomit. His mom's like, you're not getting back in my car until you're like so I'm actually really good at this. It's just the aftermath. I'm not like afterwards, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I've never been first aid trained. Maybe that's why. Maybe if I had a bit of knowledge. Maybe we should all have that in our lives.
yeah. I don't know. I really enjoyed air cadets. It's funny because Trini is like, can go, when women join the military, I'm like, it's not the 1900s, sweetie girl. Yeah. And yeah, then Mike's like, because she bought this plastic gun and was shooting juice boxes in the basement with it. And then Matthew gave her a bow and arrow. Like,
Was she good?
oh, she was pretty decent at it. And she was like, yeah, I love this. A little weird eye.
That's a bit scary though.
Well, she's she's that kind of kid that asks a million fucking questions, and she don't take no for an answer. Like, I had to go out this morning to grab some milk, and she's like, "Can I come with you?" And I went, "No." And Mike's like, "No." And she was like, "Well, I'm gonna get dressed and come with you." And she did. She came with me.
I am coming. Shut
She was
up.
like, "I'm dressed now, let's go. I got my shoes on, let's go." I'm like, "I told you you weren't coming." She was like, "Come on, let's just go. Like, why are we arguing about this? I'm ready."
Did she go? You sucker.
No,
I
she was
love
like, the
her.
look on her face, she was not having it, and I just wanted to go get some fucking milk. So I'm like,
I
"Fuck
love
this,
her.
I'm not getting out of here without her, obviously."
That is great. That is a woman taking. Hey, you at least you're not got to worry about her when she's older.
No. But I guess it
She'll
kinda
be
reminded me of, like, Nina's kid, right? In the book?
well, the little fucking madam that she is.
Yeah, well,
Get
'cause
me.
she's like, "I'm allergic to peanut butter, you're trying to fucking kill me."
And then it's like, and then at the beginning it's like, no, she's
Yeah,
not.
like, no.
Is it
And I'm like,
Andrew that said that? He's like, no, she's not allergic, and it's
"No."
like,
It's funny because when I was reading that part, I'm like, because I was like, at what part of this book would I been like, "I don't care that I'm a criminal and I could go back to jail." What part do you bounce out of there? And after being, like, accused of trying to murder a child with peanut butter and having it in the house, apparently she's allergic, I think I would have gone, "You know what? I'm clearly not right for this job. I'm gonna go tell my PO that this is just not working and go back to jail." Because fuck, man! Like, the shit that was happening to her, I'm sorry, I don't think I'd put up with that. I'd rather
no.
be in jail.
Have you been to jail?
No.
Yeah, you don't know them. I don't either, by the way. That sounded really bad.
You're like, "Have you been to jail?" I haven't. I've been to
I can imagine that that's not the place you want to be.
probably not, but I mean, it's like psychological torture. At least in jail, you know what you're fucking getting. Nina is like a wild card. I would have just been to my PO, "Look, what can we do? What can we?" Because she sounds like that her and her, like, probation officer actually had a fairly decent rapport. So I'd have been like,
Yeah.
"Look, this is what's happening in the house. She's acting absolutely crazy. I don't feel safe here. Like, what are my options?" Because they want to work with you. So I'm like, at what point is she still staying there accepting this bullshit? And honestly, I think it's because she's looking at Andrew going, "Oh yeah, I want to have babies with you."
As well, living in a lush house. All right, she's got to sleep in a shit bedroom, but better than the car.
Yeah.
All she's got to do is, I'm not saying all, by the way, but cook and clean what you would generally think is quite a tidy house before you realise that Nino's a fucking psychopath and throws wobblies and smashes up the whole kitchen, including dragging everything out of the fridge, pouring milk on the floor. Before that, it's like quite a good gig in it, and the pay. Like you think, right, stick this out for like a year, try and save some dollars, and and then I can fuck off. And then
Yeah,
try
but
and find
that's
like maybe that's her mentality. Don't know.
but the second that she finds out that Nina has all these, like, mental health issues, right? She went and looked at her medicine cabinet, and people have been saying, "Oh, she's crazy."
Yeah.
How, like, at that point, you must be wondering, like, how far will this bitch take this shit? Like, she could be in real danger, and she's just I don't know. It Millie felt really fishy to me, really fishy, because I'm like and then she's, like, lusting after her husband and like, "Ooh, I wanna be with her husband," knowing that this poor woman's, like, been in a mental institution. She obviously had a mental breakdown, and you want her husband? Like, I really despise Millie. By the end of the audiobook, I'm like, I really didn't like Millie, and I've read all the other books, and now I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about you if I go and read book 2 now,
To
'cause I
really
fucking
change
hate
your perspective, this audiobook.
Yeah, it
I'm
did.
gonna
It really did. It
I'm
really
gonna
did.
have sorry,
She's
I'm gonna have to
horrible.
listen to this.
Horrible. Horrible. She's that guy like, she's like, "Oh,
But
if
then
Nina
I
knew about
suppose,
me."
like, as a woman who's come into the house, who's like, she's just trying to do her nicey nicey thing. Nina's now being weird. Andrew's being a fucking saint. She's like, dude, you can do better. Come on.
But you don't take somebody else's husband.
Well, no, obviously we don't do that. That's
You
like
don't
in
come in
any
there going,
situation, isn't it?
"I can give you babies." Like, she can't give you I can give you babies. Like, if Nina moves out, it'll be my house. Like, who does that? Andrew finds out that she's got the criminal background, like, she's been in prison, and he doesn't talk to her for a while, and she's like, "Oh, I've lost him." I'm like, You didn't have him. That's not your man. That's someone else's man, and you're fucking still trying to stick your finger in that pie?
Yeah,
No.
maybe she got I don't know. I don't think she got what she deserved because Andrew was fucking insane. Like when it moves on to part 2 about Nina,
Oh my God.
holy shit.
Do you know what? Because originally when I read it, I was like, I get why she did it, and I feel really horrible for her. But what if, because she was looking for just somebody to take over, right? It's not like she specifically was planning to find someone like Millie. It's just Millie happened to be who she found. Now, what if she'd found some sweet, like, sweet girl and left her to be abused by Andrew? And I'm like, she really didn't care about anybody else.
But wasn't it that she picked Millie because she knew what her background was?
Yeah, but
Eventually, we find that out.
her original plan was just to find somebody to
Yeah, find
replace her
someone.
with. But and
Well,
she was
and
lucky enough.
Enzo pulls her up on that and is like, "You can't do that. You can't just replace someone in your situation."
Yeah,
And she's
but what if it had been, like, some, like, sweet girl? Like, let's say some 20-year-old sweet, like, church-going angel. Like, would she have still done it? Like, I
don't
really,
know,
because
but
I honestly believe that she would have. That it was just handy she found Millie, but I think it would have been anybody, she wouldn't have cared. She would have left this
at the
poor
end of the
girl.
book, I think she kind of says, or there's something that says that because she had a child, he held that over her and then, it would have affected her child. So her justification was, Millie doesn't have a child, like she could get up and leave whenever she wants, like Nina couldn't. He had
Yeah,
her over a barrel and he would have taken her daughter. So slightly I'm not saying that I would ever, like, think if you're in that situation, would you actually swap someone out to live your hell? Like, I don't know.
no,
I suppose it depends what
no.
sort of person you are. I
What
don't
I
think
was I would never, like, you knew what kind of situation I came from, right? Would
yeah,
you want somebody? I wouldn't want somebody to have to deal with what I went through. I would never put anybody in that position ever.
no.
So, no, I wouldn't do it, and I had kids with him. I still wouldn't do that, and I really don't think that she didn't have options. I really don't, not because that wasn't his kid. He couldn't really do anything, and if she'd have gone to social services herself and said, "Hey, I did have a breakdown. He's abusing me. I'm scared for me and my child." Social services would have helped. Like, I
But
really
don't
don't
you
think that.
think this might be getting a bit deep, but there's so many women in these situations and they can't leave because they don't have anywhere to go.
Yeah. I don't
So
think
Nina's
that
in that situation. He's got all the money, she doesn't have the money.
she had a credit card. She could have been siphoning money off of that for years, and she didn't. Why?
Did
Why
she
wasn't
not
she
though?
doing?
Yeah, but she did at one point because wasn't Enzo was like, or was that him gave her the passports and
He
money or
gave her
some
money, I think, yeah.
oh,
But she
okay.
had ways of it because she had a credit card. Now, she could have gone and got groceries and said, "Can I have $20 cash back too?" And he would never have known that because it doesn't show that on a receipt. It's like she has no thought. Like, she's like, I just went
Yeah.
and did that today because Serenity needed a fucking recorder for school, and we don't have cash in the house. We're a debit
Fucking
household.
recorder. Oh, why would
Yes,
you voluntarily buy one of those? Sorry,
because
you just tried to slip that
they're
in there
doing it
like
for the
some
winter festival. Winter festival. So I went and got so when I went to the thing, it just says I spent $25. It doesn't say, like, that's just all it says. And I doubt he was going
yeah.
from her receipts. She could have
Yeah.
been squirreling money away the whole time, and she wasn't. And I really, that was a real head scratcher.
Can we talk about the punishments? So when I tried to get my daughters to read this book, they're 17 now,
Yeah.
which I'm not saying that's the age that you have to be to read it, but they are 17, so I feel like they can handle like the weird shit. And like one of my things was to tell them about the hair pulling thing, and they literally looked at me like, "Why the hell would I want to read that?" And I was like, "The only thing is, it sounds really good though. Like it's like psychological fluid." And they was like, "No, it doesn't." But we did go to the cinema last night. We watched something else. We watched Now You See Me, and they did the trailer of The Housemaid. Lacey's woke up this morning and she's reading The Housemaid. So I'm like, yes.
Oh,
But let's
no.
talk about the tortures.
Yes, let's do that.
What? Could you actually? I don't even think now I could pull one of mine out by the like.
Nah.
That is like to be able to do that, and she had to do it twice.
Yep.
That is so fucked up, and so
Mm.
like on the realms of like, why would you think to make someone do that as their punishment?
Well, didn't his
Like
mum do it to him? Like,
his
isn't
mum's
that kind of,
supposed to do some weird shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
at
know.
the end, she says
Yeah.
something, we'll cover it later, but she does say something really weird, and I was like, I don't remember that bit,
Yeah.
and it's quite telling.
Yeah. So obviously he was perpetuating what his mother did to him, which is kind of sad But at the same time, he could have broken that cycle. But I'm pretty sure that what he learned to do was things that his mum had done to him. That's kind of where I
100%.
landed with that. Yeah.
100%. But like you say, I've known people in, like, horrible situations where they haven't been treated right by their parents, but it's actually made them become a better person. So I think
Yeah.
you can take depends what sort of person you are, what you take from it, whether you buy into that and think that that's normal or whether you go,
Break the
"Well, that
cycle.
weren't fucking great. I
Yeah.
don't wanna make someone else feel like that. I'm
No.
not gonna do that."
Nope.
So there was the hair pulling. What was the other thing that he did? Oh, the fucking bright light. You can
The
either sit in
books.
the dark or have the brightest light in the world.
Yep. And the
That's it.
books, right? Had to have the heavy books on her.
That was Millie.
That was ours, Melly. I thought
That was
he did it
Millie.
to Nina too. Yeah.
I don't remember. You might be right. My memory is not great, but I've just read it today and he definitely did that to Millie with the
Yeah.
3, like, yellow pages, a book of torture, and another book, which I guess is a heavy book.
Yeah.
And then
It's
yeah.
horrible.
Or
Horrible.
just even, like, being locked in like, to me, being locked in a room without a toilet. Hello? I
Yeah.
wake up in the night and have to pee. Like, that is not good for me.
And only 3 little bottles of water. Like, that was a thing, right? Because that was a common theme when she's talking about, like, the 3 little bottles of water in her fridge, and she didn't touch them, but she didn't know why they were there. Well,
Yeah.
we know, right?
Yeah.
That's all you
That's
get.
freaky. That
So
is
bad.
like, I'm not s well, I don't know. Is there people in the world that do this? That make people do these weird things?
I
You
would
like to
imagine that
hope
there's
not, but you just there's so much worse, I think, that also goes on in the world that there probably is somewhere.
yeah, I bet there is. I bet there are people this psychopathic out there. Yeah.
Mhm.
She obviously didn't just get it out of nowhere. Maybe she did. Maybe she's just a twisty little weirdo. But
Yeah,
she's
that's the
probably
other thing you think when you read these books. Why did you think of that? Are
well,
you okay?
she may well have come across this at some point, like
Well,
little
yeah, 'cause she's a
pieces, right?
surgeon, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a doctor. She's a doctor. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy the stuff that she comes out with. Like,
And then the other bit I wanted to talk about was the whole setup with, like, the tickets to the show,
yep,
and then they go to the city, they watch the show, they obviously have this little thing, and they go, "Oh, it's only for one night." And then is it straight away when they come back? I think they get back and Millie's gone to her room and she kept the program. It's not called that in the book, I'm talking English,
yeah.
but it's like what do you call it?
I'm pretty
Another
sure she called
word
that
for it.
program. Yeah.
Another word for it in the book, but she's just, like, left it on the side so that she knows, and then you're like, "Oh, she's angry with her," but it's exactly what she wanted, so why I don't know what that was because she
That's
wanted them to have the affair.
She wanted Millie to know that she knew. That was all that was
Yeah.
about. Because she wanted to put Millie on the defensive. But in all honesty, like, she gave her that phone. She was tracking her with the phone anyway. She knows full well they went.
Yes, the phone.
Yeah, she knew they were there. She knew they spent the night in that hotel.
She
She's
was
not stupid.
happy.
She Of course
Yeah.
she was. It's funny because, like, watching her unravel and then, like, the first part of the book, watching her, like, lose her mind and do all the crazy stuff, and then you kinda see why. It's still this time round, I don't feel like it was right. Like, the first time I read it, I was like, "Oh, I get it now." And now I'm like, "No, I don't think you handled this right at all." I
I
really
enjoyed
don't.
it the second time round. I mean, I was skim reading because I was we had kind of like a deadline, so I was skimming it a bit, but I don't know, I feel like I enjoyed it more. I feel like I picked up a lot more on, like, some little details, especially at the end.
Oh, I loved it. I
I
really
thought it.
oh, no,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. But this time round, I didn't like anybody. I liked no characters, none. They were all deplorable as far as I was concerned.
What about Enzo?
I didn't like him either because at the end of the day, there was a part when, Nina had left and he spoke proper English to her for the first time. Like, what was the harm in finishing the sentence just because Andrew was there? Like, he stopped. He could have said he was like, "No, not," and then he stopped talking and walked away because Andrew was right there. Why didn't he just say what was gonna harm, saying, "He's fucking nuts. He's nuts. Get the fuck out of there."
Yeah, he's like a big fucking
Yeah, so what
Italian
Andrew scared him so much?
man. Yeah, what
And
was
he
he
didn't
waiting
finish what
for?
he was
That's
saying, and I'm
rude.
like, "You know what? You could have said, 'She's leaving because he's batshit fucking crazy.'" You're in
Yeah.
danger. Get out. And he still could have finished his fucking sentence rather than walking away, but he walked away, and I'm like,
And when I reread today and the whole bit where him and Nina had a thing, and I was like, "What? I do
well,
not
they
remember
didn't.
that happening."
It didn't go anywhere. They were just kind of like,
They just shagged after. He, like, helped her, and then they had a little goodbye.
yeah, he had to get his, reward. Of
She enjoyed it, though.
course you did. Could you imagine having to sleep with a fucking crazed lunatic and pretend you enjoy it?
Uh,
Could you imagine being that woman where you're scared shitless of this fucking monster and you have to pretend, oh, yes, Andrew, knowing that you despise him. I want to puke in my mouth.
Vom. Yeah. Total
Like,
vom.
yeah, it's
No,
disgusting.
thank
It's
you.
disgusting. I don't know. I just this time round, I'm like, I enjoyed the story, but I hated everybody. No one was redeemable here. Like even Nina's like so-called friends, they're all like fucking smash talking her, and I'm like, if you were
Yeah,
her
I didn't
friend,
like
you'd
them the
know her
first
real
time
story.
round for that.
Yeah, I'm like, if you were her real friend, you'd know the real story. You know what I mean? She would have told you what was happening to her. So clearly, you people are just superficial cocksuckers. Like I really didn't like anybody. I was rooting
I
for
mean,
no one.
I feel like I still like Millie because all the shit she done was actually to either protect herself or like the original when she went to jail was to protect someone else. Then obviously this whole thing that she went through, she did to protect herself. Still still rate her. Like she went through that when she was really young, then had to come out, try and find a way, obviously landed in the fucking nut house with them two.
Yeah,
I
she still
I'm
didn't
not
have to
against
take her
Millie.
husband. I'm sorry, she still didn't need to do that. And it seemed normal the first time when I first read it through. It seemed
Yeah.
logical, you know. He's given her attention. He's not happy with his wife, blah, blah, blah. But this time around, I'm like, no, this was not okay. Like, you don't just come in and start like cleaning somebody's house and go, oh, I want your husband in your home. You're acting like crazy to me. I'm going to take your shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just,
no, obviously, but
and I'm wondering how I'm going to feel when I read the next installment because I think I'm going to now just to see where I put Millie now that I've got a new perspective.
I'm gonna carry on. And do you know what? I feel like when I've read a book, I probably did when I was younger. I used to read a lot of point horror for all
Yeah,
the people of my age group. We used to read point horror.
I
So I
love those
probably
books.
reread those, but I didn't expect to really go back and read stuff. And I'm really glad that I did go back and read this one because I really enjoyed reading it.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah, I
don't do many
definitely think
rereads
I'm going to
then?
carry on.
You're not a rereader.
No, not really. But there's too many new books to read. You've been doing this you've stayed on this track for years.
Yeah.
I'm still catching up now, and there's too much new shit that comes out. There's lots of different authors that I like. Yeah, there's too many new books to read at the
It's
moment,
so
but I am going to reread these ones.
it's so fucking hard because I have a book of the month subscription. So every month I pay for like a credit and then you can get add-ons. Well, here in Canada, buying books, a hardcover book's like $40. You do book of the month, you pay, yeah, it's really pricey. Like the
That is a
book,
lot.
it's insane. But if you do book of the month, you get like the first credit for it in Canada is like $28. But each book after that's 15 and you can load the box up to 5 books. And I can't help myself. I do it every month. And most of them
Right.
are untouched.
Are you a hardback book reader or a paperback?
See, what I normally do is
Really irritates me.
I read paperbacks because it's easier to hold them. And there was one time I had a hardcover book and I was falling asleep and it hit me in the corner of the eye, gave me a black eye. Can you
Sorry.
imagine explaining to people? They're like, "What happened to you?" And you're like, "I hit myself in the face with a book."
Yeah,
You
sure.
sound like you're either lying or you're a fucking idiot. Okay, but I
No, but
buy
I
hard.
do fall asleep reading all the time, so I would probably believe you. But I do that with my Kindle, so I can have the lights off and then
Yeah. Well, I
yeah.
reading in bed with the Kindle is easier because Mike likes to watch TV at nighttime, so having a lamp on sometimes distracts. So my Kindle is much easier for that. But I
Yeah.
like hardcovers for like on my shelves, and I've got this thing about spraying it
Um,
now. Like I
so for
love.
decorative, you like a hardback. See, it really
Yeah.
annoys me when a book comes out here, like, sometimes we wanna read it for book club, and it's we just done the new Lisa Jewell Don't Let Him In,
Yeah.
which was
A good
okay.
one.
Um, but I could only get the hardback or pay, like, quite a lot for a Kindle book, and I won't pay a
Yeah.
lot for a Kindle book, I'd rather buy the book.
Yeah. See, the
But
funny
I
thing is,
don't appreciate a hardback. I just rather it as a paperback. But authors,
yeah,
can we stop doing this? But I know they do it because then it's sales and people will buy the hardback because otherwise they wouldn't buy the hardback and they're more expensive and blah, blah, blah. But we don't want them,
I know, but
apart from you do.
Amazon, 9 times out of 10, Amazon will, when the book drops, like Quicksilver, you can get the hardcover and the paperback. You can buy either, and it's cheaper to get the paperback anyway. They drop them at the
Yeah.
same time, Amazon does.
Not in the UK.
Yeah, they do here.
They don't here. But
Like,
okay, right. So let's even it up then, people. Can we have the same for Canada and the UK then? Because we want the paperbacks.
we overpay for books. Like, if you look, I don't know if this one's going to have the pricing on here. Okay, so USA pricing $30, Canada 37. That's actually not that bad. But there's some of these books where, like, the book will be $20 in US and it'll be 37 for us. That's not the exchange rate. That's not even fucking close. Like, why are we paying so much for books?
Cheeky bastards.
It's
Yeah, I have
fucking
to admit,
insane.
I have been a bit tight with like what I want to pay for a book. But when you read a good one and you've got it physically, you're like, oh, like I'm even now, obviously, like I've said, I haven't read a lot apart from the last 2 years, and most of it has been Kindle, but I do have to keep buying these books. So I actually just need a bookshelf. I don't have a bookcase, bookshelf, anything. I've got a little one in my bedroom, which is, to be honest,
Yeah.
has got more of the kids' books than mine. So that is my next buy that I want. But it's really annoying because the one place in my front room, and this is going to sound so ridiculous, that's where the Christmas tree goes.
You have to find a new spot for your Christmas tree. Have you thought about putting, like, wall shelves up then? Like, maybe just have shelves on
I
the
have
wall.
pictures all round my front room that I don't want to remove, but I have got a landing, which is not massive, but is not used for anything else. So that is
Yeah.
probably where I'm going to put it. But yeah, I don't think I'll be bothered about hardbacks, but maybe once I start doing it and I get like a hardback shelf, I'll be like, oh, now I
It's
need a hardback.
they look so pretty, and I've got this obsession with sprayed edges. So,
Yes,
and then my
the
hook
book.
bookmarks, and I just sit them on top, and everything's just perfect.
Oh, your hook bookmarks are amazing. Love them.
I
Love
love
mine. I
them.
need
I
the other
love them,
one.
but I'm just
Because I do only try and read. I read my Kindle like when I go to sleep, but obviously I'll read that anyway. And then sometimes I have a physical book that I'm reading.
yeah,
But at one point I had 2 books on the go, and I had to keep remembering where I stopped, and I was like, "I just need another book thing from you.
yeah. I can send you
Need some
something.
more."
But I like
Thanks.
because I can't use my hook bookmarks because Charlene will pull them out and
Yeah.
then hide them. So I have to get I made magnetic ones so that she can't. It's not so easy to pull them out because I don't know
Yeah.
where I stop sometimes. I have met this girl and she's like, "Oh, I just remember the page." And I'm
What?
like,
Who
"Yeah." I'm
does
like, "What, even if you, like, stop reading it for a week?" She's like, "Yeah, I know where I'm at."
hang on, I'm also assuming, because we're not all weirdos, that we stop on a chapter. But even then, I still don't remember the chapter. I have to read and then go, "Oh, no, I did read that one." Then you go, "Oh, did I read that?" Then
Yeah.
you start skimming and you're like, and then you read it 'cause you go, "Oh, no, I forgot." And then you go, "Fuck, I've read that."
Yeah.
And you've already 10 pages in, so you've just wasted time.
Do you know what I did? So I waited for months for an audiobook from the library. I finally got it. I listened to it, okay? And I'm like, "That was alright." So I went to review it, and I had already had a copy of it last year, and I'd already reviewed it.
Ah!
I'm like,
You didn't remember it.
I didn't remember nothing. It didn't even ring a bell. I'm like "Who wrote this fucking review?" I'm like, "It's like last year."
Who stole my identity and reviewed books in my name?
And it was funny because I really didn't like the lead woman in it, and I wrote that in my review last year. So,
Oh, so
it was
it's
pretty
the
much what I
same.
would have written. I'm like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "I read this
That
last year,
is
but I don't remember."
weird.
So, like, yeah,
I
I'm not
have
gonna remember
read
a
a
fucking
book
chapter.
before and then halfway through gone, this is starting to feel like I know what's going to happen. I think I might have read this book years ago. I think that's
Yeah.
happened to me once.
But this was only a year ago, and it didn't ring a bell. The whole time I was listening
If
did not ring
you're
one bell.
reading like 600 plus books a year, again, I cannot believe that you can actually get that many books in. But
I
if
don't
you're
have a
reading
life.
that many, I feel like some should slip through the cracks.
Well, that one really did. That one really did. That was embarrassing, man, because I waited ages for that fucking book from the library. Ages, ages and ages.
What was it? Can you remember what it was?
The Predictable Life of somebody Finch. I can't even remember the fucking title. I just listened to it.
I don't remember stuff though. This is why when I did read The Housemaid this time for us, I did write notes literally on
Yeah.
every chapter, and then I skimmed through 'em, like, read it this morning. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of notes, but just because I was like, "I'm gonna forget shit."
Yeah. Well, I
And I
wrote
finished it
notes.
today, so I had that bit fresh in my mind.
Well, I wrote notes when I read it because we were doing chapters when before, right? Like we had set so many
Mm.
chapters per week and I had notes. And then when I listened to the audiobook yesterday, I changed my fucking notes. Like I had black notes originally for it and then I wrote new ones in pink. And I changed my mind a lot. So I really feel like anyone who doesn't listen to audiobooks maybe should because sometimes it can really change your perspective of a book. It really can.
Yeah.
But when someone says, I read this book and it was horrible, I'm like, well, if you tried the audiobook, you might like it. Like someone was, I don't know if you've ever read it because it's probably not in your wheelhouse, but I read a book called Remarkably Bright Creatures.
I've heard of it on lists,
Okay.
haven't read it.
It's like, it's so good.
My friend Rosie recommended this for book club, and because she spoke about it and said it was an octopus and something, and maybe it talks, everyone was like, "Fuck off, that's stupid."
Yeah, well,
We
somebody
didn't
kept
read.
recommending this fucking book to me, okay? And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no." And she was like, "Seriously, okay, do the audiobook." And I'm like, "Okay, you know what? Fine." The library had it, so I did it. Oh my fucking I was hooked. Because the octopus, he doesn't talk. We get his perspective every other chapter. So he's in his tank, he's like upset that he's not out in the sea and whatnot. And the lady that cleans his tank's really nice and he helps her like do stuff. And he sneaks out of his tank. He gets into all sorts of fucking shit, okay? He sneaks out his tank, he steals stuff, and you get his perspective, and he's like really smart and the stuff he's saying. But the audiobook was brilliant. And
Sounds
if
like
I
a
had
kid's book.
what?
It sounds like a kid's book, The Octopus That Sneaks Out of His Tank.
He's just like but it's hilarious. The audiobook, the way he does his voice, and he's talking and like all the family stuff. Like, I think if I had read this book first, I would have DNF'd it. I would have stopped reading because
Yeah,
the magic was in the audiobook. It really was. And then I read it after because I already had like the voice of Marcellus in my head. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
honestly, I think audiobooks really have a place in people's reading repertoire.
One of my favourite audiobooks that I listen to, maybe not favourite totally of the story, but just because of who the author was. So it's Ruth Jones, and I don't know if you know who that is where
I
you are.
don't know.
So
Who's
Ruth Jones, for my England peeps, Ruth Jones and James Corden did the programme Gavin and Stacey. Have you seen
oh yeah,
this?
I know the
So
show.
Ruth Jones has written, what did you just say?
I said
Nessa?
I've seen the show.
Cool. So Nessa in the show is Ruth Jones, and Ruth Jones has written a couple of books, and they're very much like not a thriller. It was kind of, I can't remember the name of the one that I read, but it was 3 or 4 generations of women in the same family and their different stories, and then how
Yeah.
they interlinked and stuff. And it was really nice, but it was nice because she did it,
Oh.
and I really enjoyed it. I think I will find out what it is, but she has done a couple. But what one did I read? My Goodreads. I don't know
So
if
what
it's
does
on.
she read? What does she write then? What genre? Is she like a
I
thriller?
don't really know what you'd call it because it was just like their story as different women of different age groups. And, there's like shit that happens within the
Multi-generational?
family. Yeah,
Oh,
kind of.
yeah.
This one was anyway.
Okay.
It'll be on my Audible. But yeah, it was really good and I really rated it. I've also done a couple of John Mars on audiobooks. I'm in the middle. That I have read a John Mars that I think a lot of people like really loved, and I was like, it's the one
Which
with the
one was it?
suitcase.
Oh,
No.
you mean Keep It in the Family?
Yeah. I
I
was
love that one.
not a I was not yeah,
I love that
but
one. I made us
What Lies Between Us? Is it
I
called
don't know if I've
that?
read that one. Have you done his, Dark Future series?
No.
Okay, you have to start with book 1, The One. That book was so
Oh,
fucking brilliant.
I've actually got the book upstairs. I don't know if I ever read it, but I feel like they did a Netflix of this.
I think they might have. They may have,
And I
but
might have
it's
seen that, but
fucking good.
it was a very, very long time ago. But yeah, I'm definitely up for a John Mars. It
Okay,
was
we can
good.
definitely do him.
You Killed Me First, John Mars.
I don't
That
think
was
I
a
read
good
that.
one.
I did all
Oh,
his Dark
yeah.
Future books. I did all 6, And The Minder wasn't very good. That was probably the only one I didn't really much
Oh,
care
I've never
for.
heard of that one.
Yeah, it's like, these people have, all this, like, secret knowledge buried in their DNA, and they all start to, like, go a bit crazy, like, they get reset. And it wasn't the story didn't move in a way that I needed it to, and I wasn't that interested or invested, but The Marriage Act was really good. I really enjoyed that one, and, The One was brilliant.
I feel like I've read that, like, years ago. I feel like it's still sat on my Kindle.
It may have, like, he writes these books, but they kinda cross over a little bit, but not enough that you
Mm.
can't read them as standalones, because I didn't read them in order. Like, The One was the only one I read that was in the correct order, the rest of them were all over the map. But, like, the chick finds this thing in our DNA where you can find your exact perfect match.
I mean, wouldn't that be so fucking handy about now?
It would, but could you imagine already being married and thinking that you're with your one, and then actually you match with somebody else?
This is the one though, isn't it?
Yeah! Fucking
Yes.
brilliant.
Yes, because that's on the show, isn't it? And then it's like, you're not each other's one, then you're like
Because,
but as a
yeah, or
single
somebody.
woman, that would be very handy if someone could actually make that, please. That'd be
But could
great.
you imagine if you ended up being matched to, like, a man in his 80s? Because that happened in the book too, right? Like, somebody got matched, like, young got
Wow.
matched up with
I
somebody
was
that
just
was
gonna
almost
go
dead.
with if he's an absolute arsehole.
Or you got matched with a woman, and you're not a lesbian, you didn't know it, because that happens in the book, eh? 2 men, they match to each other, and they're not gay, they're with women. Do you fucking imagine that? Or your match is already dead, and now you're
Oh,
just fucking
thanks
alone.
very much.
Like, I can
There
see
we
the
go.
pitfalls, but the book was brilliant. And John Mars, like, I posted about him, and he reposted it and thanked me. Yeah.
You're such a good book what is it? Book talker? Book
Influencer.
influencer?
Talker. Book chatter.
Book
I guess
talker.
I'm technically a book influencer, but it's funny because someone was like, they book review and they book influence. I'm like, you can't do both. I said, because book reviews are for readers and book influencing is for the author. I'm like, so which are you? And she's like, oh, fuck, I don't know.
But don't you review and
I do, but when I get books from the publisher, I don't post anything under 4 stars. So that is for the author. Now, if there's anything that is under that, I just post a book blurb about it. I don't rate it. I don't say anything about it because I'm not supposed to drag sales down. So if you see me post something that is lower than a 4-star, it's literally because I'm not influencing for that book. But I try and keep my feed positive. I don't want to post things about books like
you don't
that.
wanna because I was reading a post the other day and it's like, oh, it's like people talking about this certain book, it's just in a Facebook group.
Yeah.
And then some people going in hard like shit and other people's like, "But you think that book was great, I didn't," or vice versa. But that's why you shouldn't go off what people say. Like, if a book speaks to you, like, read the book
Yeah.
because we're all different. We're all gonna have different opinions, and
Yep.
just because someone doesn't like it doesn't mean that you won't like it.
Exactly. And
And
that's
that's I like that you don't try and, like, write negatively about a book.
I
You
will
just
if I don't like something, I will post it on Goodreads that I don't like it, but my biggest problem is, what if I read a book and I don't like it, and somebody reads my review and says, "Oh, well, I won't read that then," and that could have been the best book they ever fucking read. Like,
yeah.
I don't wanna do that to somebody because I hated Gone Girl. I think it was the worst book ever fucking written. I owned 3 copies of the fucking thing. I don't even know how that happened, and I hated it, and I actively hate it to the point where if I ever saw the author, I'd punch her in the face, and I'd love the rest of her books. I would. I'd be like, "What the fuck is this shit? What did you just waste my time on?" I hate it. I'm well known for my hatred of this book, but
That
I
is
also
such an unpopular opinion.
everybody loves it.
I
Everybody loves
do
it.
not remember actually reading the book, but I remember that had read the book and watched the movie and liked all of it.
Yeah,
So that is and this just reaffirms my point of you
yeah.
shouldn't smash books because other people might love them.
But I read the book because everyone was talking about it, and I don't like to
Yeah.
follow the hype, okay? When people say, "Oh, this book was so great," and everyone's talking about it on TikTok and Bookstagram, I automatically think, "Remember Gone Girl? Remember that you picked that book up because everyone was raving about it, and now I don't take anyone's opinions ever now." Like, JC was like, "Have you read this book?" And she thought Gone Girl was good, and I'm like, "I'm not reading that. If it's anything like that, a pile of crap, I ain't reading it." Because I can't. I don't trust people's opinions. I give my opinion. I don't trust other people's opinions. I don't. You're
No,
liars.
yeah, but that's just because we all have different tastes, isn't it? Like, I
Yeah.
will say a book that I read that I didn't think like this was a book club book. I haven't got the
Yeah.
first one with me, but I've got the second one here. Bob Mortimer, the comedian, wrote a book called The
Ooh.
Satsuma Complex. I rated it 5 stars and I was shocked at myself. I really enjoyed reading it. And I don't know if it's because I got to sit down and read sort of most of it just over like 2 days and I was fully engrossed in it. I liked the story. I liked the whimsical kind of feel because he's talking to a squirrel sometimes and it's so silly. But it's really like funny, but in like
Yeah.
a kind of deadpan Bob Mortimer way, and it was really
Yeah.
funny, and I'm literally reading the second one at the minute. This is The Avocado Hotel.
I have
Struggled
not.
a little bit.
Yeah. I don't never
Struggled a
read it.
little bit, but because I picked it up, I read about 80 odd pages,
Mhm.
and then I had to read something for book club that was an actual physical book, and I put it down. So I started again, and then I was like, "Shit, I've got to keep reading this book." But I have kind of put it down and picked it up, which I think might be why I'm not enjoying it as much. But I
Right.
have
Yeah.
been solidly sort of picking it up for last week, and it's getting a bit better, but the story's not really progressing as quickly as I'd like.
Yeah.
But if it's anything like the first one, maybe it's a little bit more towards the end. I don't know, but you wouldn't think you'd like a. Well, I wouldn't have thought that I would have liked it, but I've really enjoyed it, and I love the cover of the first one. It's like bright blue with a big orange on it, like very colourful.
Yeah.
Great on your bookshelf.
It's
It was
crazy
great.
sometimes
I've
the things
started it.
people. Have you read the series You with the stalker
Haven't read
book?
it, but I've obviously watched the Netflix, but that is on my Goodreads TBR.
Okay, so I read book 1 and I was like, okay, it's okay. And then I started book 2 and I stopped reading it. I did not enjoy it. I think the show is so much better than the books. And I never
Mm.
say that, ever. You won't ever hear me fucking say that about anything. But the books, I'm like, Job was such a fucking creep. And in the TV show, obviously he is as well. But I could see how women would be attracted to Joe on the show. But in the book, I'm like, oh, he was giving me the heebie fucking jeebies. And I'm like, Beck, run, run, run. What the fuck are you
I
doing?
disagree with you. I don't know how they I mean, I don't I love Penn Badgley in, like, Gossip Girl, and I loved him in the film, but attraction-wise, I think he's one of them guys that's like, "I don't get it."
No.
I would say good for you, but obviously not for the people that got with him, but
No,
no.
but I could feel the charisma on the show, like, coming out because I'm looking at him, I'm like but in the book, I don't know, I couldn't get on board with it. It was really slow paced too, and people rave about that fucking book series, rave about it. And I'm
Really,
like,
because it is on my thing, but not on my radar right now. You might have put me off a little bit. But I
"What?"
did love the show, and actually, when you say about his charisma, yeah, maybe not attraction-wise, but I think some guys can talk you round and
Yeah,
because
they
he is
kind
all
of
about you, isn't he? Like,
yeah, that's the whole point, yeah, until he's
what
not,
do
and
you
then
think?
you're dead. It's funny because have you seen the TV show Dexter?
I've only literally watched one, and I can't really remember it.
Okay, so I really loved the show, and I wanted to try the book series, but I'd already seen the show. Well, I did the Audible books, okay, because the author of the book narrates his audiobooks, and it's fucking hilarious. Like the Dexter on TV is good, but the monologue in his head is so much better in the books. I was fucking dying of laughter. Like I was walking around just laughing my ass off. I was fucking crying of laughter with the book. It was so because he's like the things coming out of his mouth is not what he's thinking. So he thinks something and says something out. I was dying. It was so funny. It was
Someone
so,
at work did compare when I said I was watching you, they said, "Oh, you would like Dexter then, because it's
yeah.
sort of a
Dexter is
similar vein."
Dexter is really good. The TV show is really fucking good. Really, really good. They just
Mm.
rebooted it and it's actually still just as good.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
they did that.
It's good. And the book series is really good too, and I think they ended it really well, but I really enjoyed the Audible books. But I did originally start reading them, and book 1 was just okay, but when I listened to the audiobook, it was so much better. So much better.
Ooh,
Obviously, the story's
interesting.
different to the show, but it's good. It's really good. Good.
Mm.
And I need new series in my life. Like, but I don't know, I've got commitment issues, I guess. I tend to read a lot of standalones
Do you mean series as in books or TV shows?
books. Like, I
Books.
really because most of them are fantasy too, like, that it's fantasy series are big, right?
Yeah, well, what was the last really big one? Court of Thorn and Roses.
Yeah, Court of Thorns and Roses. And
I
honestly,
did
I
read the first one because that was a book club book, and I got on okay with it, especially towards the end, and then I started the second one, I borrowed it off someone, and I was like, "I'm out." I'm just not a fantasy girl, though, like, it would take a lot to get me quite invested, and I think they can just be a bit too far-fetched, and I'm gonna just relay this back to an example that I thought of the other day. You know, when we first started watching Charms, the TV series, they started off as normal people, and they just had, like, one power, and it kind of progressively got, I wouldn't say ridiculous because I enjoyed all of it, but do you know what I mean? It progressively got, like, more magical. But
yeah,
if it was that magical at the beginning, I don't think I could have watched it.
no,
Whereas
no.
obviously, like, these series are already, like, in a magical world and I'm like, "I'm out.
See,
Not
for me,
real."
it's more like in A Court of Thorns and Roses, the boys or the hot book boyfriends all have fucking wings. And women are like, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, my bat boys." And I'm like, "Oh." And a lot of these women will read, like, monster porn. So I got
What?
a book. Yeah, so I got a book, and I didn't realize what it was, but it was like, this chick gets, abducted by aliens, and, like, she wants to have sex with these weird creatures, and I'm like, "I didn't know it was this,
I'm scared.
and I'm scared now." And then somebody was like, "Okay, well, if you've read that, you have to try the dinosaur books." So it's like dinosaur porn. These women are having sex with dinosaurs. Like, how does that even work? Okay. Dinosaurs are big. Could you imagine how big a penis would have to be? Where's it going? Where are you putting that, buddy? Like, seriously. And these women are and they're talking. So I'm in a group with
That
these
is,
women, okay? And they're all like, "Oh, yeah, I got so turned on by that." And I'm like,
I can't, do you know what? If I read smut in a book, it just cringes me out, like, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm more like, "How long is this gonna last for?" Like, just make it stop. I'm
it,
not a book erotica
no, I
smutty
don't.
book person at all.
I don't mind a little bit of spice. Like, people talk about spice ratings. They get like 1 to 5 spice. Like, 1 is usually like there's a lot of kissing and touching and whatnot. I don't mind around 2, 3 peppers. But the second that there's no plot and it's literally him talking about how long he's licking her vagina for, like, I don't need 4
Ew.
pages of that. Like, I don't need to know that she's squirming and pulling his hair at the roots. Like, I don't need to
Would you
know.
say a different word then? My God.
Like, I don't. Like, I like Bridgerton. They have a little bit of sex in those. That's probably about the limit of the
I
amount of
watched the TV series, haven't read the book.
I love that.
But I
Well,
do, again, watching stuff like that on TV, like, even on my own, I'm like, I feel uncomfortable. Like, I wouldn't class myself as a prude per se, but yeah, I don't wanna watch or read that.
okay, well, then imagine that your 6-year-old daughter wants to watch Bridgerton, and then it's like, "Huh." And I'm like, "What are you watching?" She was like, "Bridgerton." "Are they having sex?" I'm like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "I wanted to watch Bridgerton."
No.
I'm
No,
like,
baby, no.
"No, no, no." So
No, baby.
she's a sneak because 'cause she'll use my account to watch things she's not supposed to watch. She watched Wednesday. She's watched it like 8 times. She loves it.
I wanted to watch Wednesday, I never watched it.
It's so good. You've gotta watch
Do
it. It's
need to
so
watch
good.
that one.
And then Charlene has been like, I'm doing my rewatch of Gilmore Girls 'cause, you know, I read my full books. I have my
Love Gilmore
Gilmore Girls in
Girls.
the background. And
Gilmore
she has
Girls.
literally I'm on another season now because she's been watching it.
Nah,
I'm like
she's messed you up.
I'm like, "Hang on a minute, I wasn't this far." Yeah, her.
I fucking love Gilmore Girls. My girls found it on their own either last year or the year before, and they've watched some of it and they quite enjoy it, but I've rewatched that shit so many times.
I love it. Well, I'm
Love
doing
Gilmore
like
Girls.
I don't know if you've been like if you watched any of my other episodes, but I was doing like the Read Like Rory challenge. So I was reading a book off of her list because she's got like a book list of like 400. Yeah. So I downloaded the list and I've been reading them. And then I do a little talk about why I think Rory liked it. What did I like about it? And then I rate it with Luke's cups of coffee.
I need to, oh my God, I need to listen to this.
Yeah, they're
I need
good.
to
They're
read
just
these
short
books.
episodes.
I need to find, right, so you can find this book list then online,
Yeah. You
clearly.
have a look and
Right,
it's
I'm gonna
Read
find
Like
that.
Rory challenge. It's the Read Like Rory challenge, and you'll find the list. Like, she has a lot of classic stuff on there. She had Anna Karenina on there. I do not recommend that book. It's I understand that it was like wild for the time, and he was like this spectacular. But yeah, I no,
I've
it's
never even
boring.
heard of this book.
It's really fucking boring. I
Any
finished
good
it.
ones that you recommend?
Well, she did a lot of Stephen King. So I did a couple of Stephen King books. Cujo was on her list, and The Shining is on her list. That's a good book. And then I did Christine. Fuck, that's a long book. She does a lot of classics. So what other books have I done? I've
You're
probably
gonna
done
be
about
disappointed in me, but I've never read a Stephen King book. We were
Betty.
almost gonna do Running Man for book club, but then we've changed it, and this month we've swapped it out for this one,
I
Midnight
heard
Feast by
that's
Lucy
good.
Foley.
I
Huh?
heard it's good. I heard it's good. I haven't read
What,
it.
this one?
Yeah.
Good, but I was quite excited to read a Stephen King, but then I don't know why it detoured, but it did.
They're really big books. Like I think the smallest book he ever wrote was probably Thinner, and that was still like 200 pages. Like his books are sizable. Pennywise, that's 1,500 pages. Yeah.
Fuck!
It's like
Did not know
fucking a
that.
40-hour audiobook. It's big. Like Christine was like 30 hours.
Well, look, that one, I would say
Yeah.
that is actually quite
How many pages is it?
big. That's quite thick. I'm not enjoying that's 400 pages.
Yeah, that's pretty.
This
350 to
one, that's
400
like
for a thriller is about right.
3 to 400.
Yeah.
Yeah, but oh, mind you, the writing's smaller in that one to that one. Yeah, the writing's bigger because they're both 400 pages, so work that
Oh,
out.
look. Bookmark.
Oh, and there's your shout out to your book merch. Shout out, plugged you without knowing. Sorry about that.
I love
Bookalorean,
the
people,
hooks.
Bookalorean.
I love the hooks. But yeah, that might be why if you were reading a book for the month, Stephen King books are really big. Like I think even Fairy Tale was 600 pages. Like that's a lot of book to get through in a month if you're not much for reading. What
How
book
many
did they pick?
pages is Running Man?
I think
Depends on edition,
yeah.
pardon. With page counts ranging from 159 to 4. Maybe that was a shorter one then. Have you
Well,
read that one?
I've read The Running Man, yeah. It's in the
Oh.
Bachman books because he wrote under a pseudonym for a while. He wrote under Richard Bachman.
Yes, I heard
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Well, he had most of his books. It's funny because I was looking for a copy of Christine and I don't have one, but I have 3 copies of Misery. I'm like, how did that happen? And then Caitlin had, because my mom sent her a bunch of like older Stephen King covers for books because she
Mm.
went through a Stephen King phase. And I'm like, I wonder if she's got Cujo. And she did. And I took it. And I'm like, hey, I borrowed your copy of Cujo. She was like, put it back. I'm like, I will when I'm done. She was like, don't touch my books. I'm like, fuck
Joe
you.
will get you if you don't put the book back.
She took my copy of House of Leaves twice, and I still don't have it back now. She's like, I want to do my project at school on it. Can I take it? I'm like, are you bringing it back? I've seen her twice. She ain't bringing my fucking book back. But that Cujo is staying on my shelf until my House of Leaves copy is back in my house.
You're holding it like in ransom for your own book.
Fuck
I
her.
like it.
Yes.
Don't give in.
I was going to read it too. I was going to do, I don't know if you've ever read it. Have you seen it? Like the way the pages are, where it's all like curly text and like it's pretty mental. Like House of Leaves.
No.
It's like it's an experience in a book. Okay, I was going to do a podcast episode on it. I was going to do a deep dive, and she hasn't bought it back, so I can't deep dive because she won't bring it back. And every month it doesn't come back, I'm going to take another Stephen King book out of her drawer.
Yeah, fucking right.
She's got
Caitlin,
like,
if you're listening, bring her fucking book back.
I'm sure she will. She remembers. She came home to hang out with us, and she forgot to take her mail with her. So it's piling up. She just left it. Remember to take the bottle of wine. Forgot her mail.
It's just them years of your life, though. That's not important to her. She's got very many big things happening in her life. Your
Yeah.
book is not one of them.
Yeah, I know. Still not happy though. But it was the audacity that was like, hey, put that back, please. Like, bring mine back then. You want your book? I want mine. Shit.
So, shall we talk about our book for next month? Because I do have an idea.
Let's hear it.
Given that it is Christmas time next month, December, I don't know when exactly we're going to film. Hopefully mid or just after Christmas.
Yeah, we'll
will
find
be
time.
episode number 2. I know everyone's going to be dying to listen to it because we're so great.
I think we're
But-
hilarious.
I do, but I doubt anyone else does. But I was thinking, yeah, I've read a couple of books by this author. One was How to Slay on Holiday, which I read on holiday, which I really, really enjoyed. And she did How to Slay at Work. It's Sarah Bonner, but she does a How to Slay at Christmas.
Okay.
And I think that's
Okay.
quite apt for
And
December
it's a
read.
standalone, right? Like I don't have to read the other books.
Don't have to read the other books, as far as I know. The other two definitely weren't linked. Yeah. How'd
Okay.
you feel about that?
I'm in. I read all
You
genres. I read everything, like nothing.
you haven't read it before then?
No, I've actually never heard of this author, so this is going to be fun. Is it on
Holy
KU?
crap.
Is it on KU?
Pardon?
Is it on KU?
I actually don't know. I will find. Do you know what? I reckon the other ones was though, because that's probably I definitely didn't buy them.
Okay. Well, I'll have a look. If not, my library will probably have it. I'll get it.
No,
I'm
I'm
up for
afraid.
anything. I'm up for
Yeah,
anything.
it's Kindle.
Kindle Unlimited.
Yep, it's there. Oh no, that's on holiday. Oh yeah, How to Slay at Christmas.
Excellent. Okay, I'll grab
Yeah.
that then.
How
Okay.
the fuck? For a girl that reads over 600 books a year, how have I found an author that you don't know?
There's so many authors out there that I don't know. And it's funny because I find most of my new authors on NetGalley. And if this person hasn't put their books on NetGalley, that's probably why.
Mm. Well, I especially enjoyed How to Slay on Holiday. So I definitely recommend that one. How to Slay at Work was good, but I really enjoyed the first one.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm
it's a bit
excited.
of like dark, twisty, thrillery type, funny book.
I like dark,
So we'll
twisty.
do that for the next one and we'll work out a date and then we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited because that was my
Yeah.
plan to read that one at Christmas anyway. So
Yeah. No, I like
I am
that.
happy with that.
Okay.
Cool. I feel like that was a really fun first episode. I've
Yeah.
quite enjoyed it. Although, if anyone's actually watching this, they will notice I've been drinking Prosecco the whole episode. So I may have
It's too
enjoyed it more
early
than I
for me.
should.
Tea. It's like
Yeah,
10 a.m. here.
we're 7 hours apart, so it's fine. But I have really enjoyed our book talk.
Yeah, me too. Now, for you guys that are watching, you're going to know that we haven't set any social medias up yet. We haven't set up our own channel yet, but you'll be able to find this episode and future episodes always on my channel, L'Adulterous Horror. So you can find me on YouTube at L'Adulterous. You can find me on Spotify at L'Adulterous. I will set some stuff up because I think we're pretty settled on the name, right? But
Bertie and
we might still tweak it. Yeah, we don't know. We're still talking. But you can definitely find any updates on my social medias. So on Instagram at L'Adulterous Horror, on TikTok at L'Adulterous. And I will make sure that I set something up so you guys can follow us completely and not just on my channel.
Yay!
We hope you have enjoyed this episode and we will be back just before Christmas or just after Christmas. We'll keep you posted. Have a great reading week, guys. Take care.
Catch you later.